whatsoever. I mean, this absolutely is not how I want to spend my first Tuesday night back at Richmond City Council. But I just want to recognize that there are so many great people that actually did come out. Like, I've known about some of the folks that actually came out to speak. I've heard about some of the work that they've done. But man, the passion that I've heard and just the overall commitment and things that's been coming out behind people has been, it's inspiring to me. So I'm just going to be real honest on where I'm coming from when I'm thinking about this seat. For the past 6 years, and still continuing, I've been a community organizer. So coming from nothing and just starting to get involved in my community, starting to learn about the political field and everything, and getting into those experiences, it's really humbled me into making sure that I'm a sure thing behind whatever decision I'm making and whatever I'm doing. Now, over the past month, I've been waiting for a community process, hearing from different people about how they were feeling about different candidates that were running. And coming to this public comment and just hearing a lot of the things that I've heard and going based off of what I know I would do if I was still just a regular constituent. The honest answer for me is I would actually get behind Marilyn Langlois because of the track record and what I have seen her do myself. The same passion that I'm hearing about all these other candidates, which is like, can I work with y'all after this still? Even if I don't pick y'all, can y'all still work with me? Because you guys are cool. But the same passion I'm hearing about all the other candidates I've heard is the same passion that I've actually shared for Marilyn Langlois, because I've seen her there on the front door knocking with me and just for rent control. I've seen her unquestionably hold Chevron accountable and rip their EIR partner in a modernization project and come with a better environmental initiative. That was great. She's talked to me about how are we going to implement the ban the box and make sure that those who are previously incarcerated are being discriminated against. She has been here for wanting to increase the minimum wage. She was unquestionably supportive of a program to use eminent domain to help get people principal reductions, and when it came time to save a homeowner's home from foreclosure, she was in the bank with me shutting it down until they got a loan modification and a principal reduction. So when I'm thinking about this seat, I'm hearing so many great things from other people, but it's that old saying, like, if you're going to talk, you got to walk. And the fortunate and unfortunate thing for me is that I've seen somebody do the walk on many occasions unquestionably, and resilience, and with such passion and caring, and just the only question she asked me is not like, why you're doing this. She just asked me, what do you need from me to support you and your membership? And she's always been at the front lines. I mean, I don't know how many people show up to many community events, but name almost one community event that you haven't seen Marilyn Langlois at. Everywhere I go, she's right there. So for me, it's going to come down to trust, because being in this position and when you get more involved, a lot of the reasons when I door knock and talk to people, even for get out to vote campaigns, they tell me they don't want to get out to vote because they feel like their voice doesn't even make a difference, or we could choose whatever person we want and that person is just going to do what they want. And the unfortunate thing is, before being on this council and even while being on this council in other jurisdictions, as I lobby in Contra Costa and for us at Sacramento too, I do see people do a lot of talking, but their actions say something else. So it's a hard decision for me, because I don't want to discount any of the good work that so many people have and all the candidates that have presented themselves have done. But it also comes to a feeling of trust in what I've seen and what I've experienced. And if I was not on this council right now, and if we had to take this to a special election, the person that I would pick to door knock for and try to convince that was the best choice would be Marilyn. I was thinking about this, juggling it, taking all of this in, but I would still be out there door knocking for Marilyn, because I've seen those things she's done for community members that I've worked with that are struggling, and the results that we have, which is an increase in the minimum wage, a ban of violence policy, rent control and just cause for eviction, and the fact that homeowners' homes were saved, and the fact that we, as she was part of the Planning Commission, supported a proposal on a modernization project that led to a $90 million community benefits agreement that we are able as Richmond citizens to be able to use. So that's where my faith is, and that's where my support is in. And if for some reason she doesn't get it, I do have a lot of good candidates to choose from, but that's just where I'm at. So thank you all for coming out tonight. I really do appreciate it.
No, it goes this way.
Oh, I see. So I just want to thank everyone, all of the candidates who worked hard and came out here and gave shared their vision for Richmond and really their passion. And that is greatly appreciated because in any city, we need people who want to come out and volunteer and who want to step to the plate to make a difference. And from what I hear from everyone who spoke tonight, everyone has that passion, and so I greatly appreciate it. I appreciate the city clerk also providing this list of this item. And for those of you who don't know, the city clerk gave us a list with everybody's names and room for notes, and that was so helpful. So in looking at my notes and breaking it down, in breaking down different aspects of what they said, whether or not they take corporate money, how they feel about charter schools, how they feel about the questions that were important to me, positions on the city council, what else? So those things were important to me, and because of this really organized way of taking notes, it really helped me to be able to break down. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 names that stands out for me. Those 5 names are based on my, my notes, for lack of a better word. I have Diego Garcia, I have Demlis Johnson, Marilyn Langlois, Ada Vecinos, and David Schoenthal. So now, 5 names, Schoenthal. I don't know why you want to keep saying Sko. Right. So out of those 5 names, now I throw in other categories that makes a difference to me. The other category that makes a difference to me is the fact that the amount of women in elected office, the percentage of women in elected office is really low. The percentage of women in the statewide office in California, all of the different offices, is only 23.7%. And whoever knows how to do math, so out of what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people on the city council, I'm the only woman. That tells you a lot about the statistics of women. We need women to step up. We need more women in office, and I really believe that in that healing, nurturing energy that women bring. So, with that category and my concern about women and the need to have more representation in public office, that leaves 2 women that met my criteria. And the 2 women that met my criteria, now that we break it down, and again, the 5 folks that where I was able to bring out are amazing candidates, and I thank you all. So now, with that being the case, I don't want to be the only woman up on this dais. I think it's important that we have women. So with Marilyn Langlois and Ada Vecinos being the 2 that scored high on my matrix. One woman I have to abstain from, and that woman would be Marilyn Langlois. Based on the need for me to abstain tonight, has nothing to do with a vote against anyone in particular. As a matter of fact, it actually reflects the catch-22 that I find myself in at this point. I recognize that, whatever my decision is tonight, someone is going to be unhappy. respect. I respect greatly what she's done, what she does continue to do, and as well as who she is as a human being. I'm profoundly grateful to Marilyn because she's been there since the very beginning of my journey representing Richmond. Her activism and her support as an ally is something I've always been able to count on. Marilyn has also generously supported my electoral campaigns, and most of you know that it is no secret that she is my top donor. I have reason to believe that that if I were to vote to appoint her, it could foster the inaccurate perception of an inappropriate financial relationship resulting in my vote. Being a leader for corporate money, free politics, means I have to take a high level of responsibility in order to gain the public trust. And the public must absolutely see and trust that my decisions are not influenced by the favor of donors, even if those donors are individuals and not corporations. For this reason, I have to abstain from voting for that vote. And I know that this is the decision that comes as a major disappointment to many and certain individuals, and I take that very, very seriously. I know that Marilyn and I will find a way to continue to work together and continue in her work and my work and our work, actually, in improving and creating the Richmond that we all want. So now, with that being said, that leaves one woman who's coming out on top of all these candidates, and that woman then is Ada Vecinos. And after careful consideration, and my scorecards here, I find her to be an amazingly qualified candidate from this pool of very qualified candidates throughout the night. I find Ada to be inspiring. I find her responsible, competent, and someone who I trust will continue to serve Richmond in a beautiful way. Our community is being called to push forward the next generation of leaders, so we can fully prepare to meet the long-term needs that we have. One of these needs is for more increased representation of marginalized communities, communities of color that can benefit from young people of color taking on that leadership and advocating for their community. So the future of Richmond is in the hands, I believe, of young people like Ada. Those hands they're going to be building homes. Those hands are going to be raising children. Those hands are going to be starting new businesses and keeping our neighborhoods safe. It's critical for the health of Richmond to support these young people of color in every way that we can do that. And Ada's leadership, I believe, will continue the great progress that Richmond has made so far. We all heard what she's about, but I believe that as a professional, I believe she's responsible for working directly. In her professional career, she's responsible for working with Latino, Latinx entrepreneurs to start their own businesses and helping them to raise so much money. So I've seen Ada shown an exemplary record of fighting for women and working families in Richmond and really across California. So I believe that her skills in organizing communities of color, in particular communities of color like Richmond, will indeed help Richmond to continue to grow and to thrive. And so Ada Vecinos comes out on top in terms of my metrics.
Thank you, Councilor Martinez.
Yes, this has been an exceptional night with exceptional candidates. I'm really impressed with many of them. I would like everyone to know that I promised myself, and I told everyone that I would not decide until I had a chance to listen to every candidate. And the candidates that impressed me the most were Sohaila Bana, Diego Garcia, Douglas Johnson, Marilyn Langlois, Ada Recinos, and David Schoenthal. Yeah, Schoenthal. Yeah, so anyway, I believe that they're all fantastic candidates. I'm especially impressed with the way that Marilyn Langlois has dealt with all this negative campaigning done by people who know better. I'm also exceptionally impressed with the way that she came and showed how she worked positively with each and every council member, how she is a bridge builder. And she did not rise to the political poison bait that certain community members had put out there hoping to trap her. She is a woman of integrity. She is a woman who knows how to analyze issues. She's someone who knows how to listen. She's someone who knows how to cooperate. She's also someone who knows the community, someone who's been out there with every issue that is important to the citizens of Richmond. Now, we do need a woman on the city council to wrap this out. And the three women that I mentioned are women who I would consider. But I know that Sohaila Bana has not been out in the community as much as the other two people. But I would encourage her to continue putting her name out there because I believe that she can do a lot of good things for the city of Richmond. I also encourage Ada Recinos to work hard, and if she's not appointed, to continue doing what she's doing, because we need more youth, and that's something that she has over Maryland, her youth and her ability to move Richmond forward. But based on experience, based on good work ethics, based on qualities needed to be a good council person, I would stand with Marilyn the way I did when we ran together in 2010? 2012. It's been so long.
Thank you. So, interesting night. I would agree with what several of my colleagues said about how impressive so many people in this crowd were. I want to single out a couple of folks. Can I just keep it 100? I'm going to keep it 100 with everybody. A couple of folks who I think are very, very impressive, but politics is about math. And whoever gets it, we need somebody who's going to get 4 votes on this stage. And we have to appoint somebody because I think it would be a tremendous waste to go to a special election and waste that funds for the general fund. So, a couple candidates I want to single out, and the first one I want to talk about, because I never knew anything about this woman until today. I think I read her article on Radio Free Richmond, but I hadn't seen her around. The first person we heard from, Sohaila Bana, so impressive. I'm very, very much impressed. I don't think she's going to get the vote tonight, but she was very, very impressive, and I concur with my colleague, Mr. Martinez. She needs to stay engaged. We would love to see her continue to work in the community. Another person I'm very, very impressed by, but that I don't think is going to get the votes tonight, but I think is a very, obviously has a combination of experience and knowing how government works, as well as humility, honesty, and organic connection with the community is David Tucker, and I really appreciate him as well. We'll see how the votes go. Now, that said, there are about 5 or 6 other folks that I'm prepared to vote for tonight that I think are good who's going to get, how the math works. There's one person that I think we have a unique opportunity to really unify behind and potentially even appoint unanimously, which I don't think has happened. And I had the great honor of spending some time getting to know her over the weekend, and that's Ada Racinos. And what I really find impressive about her is she's got a mind where she's got this understanding, she has all the right values, she's completely about social justice, she's completely about making sure we're fighting for the people, but she actually has an understanding about how business works and how to support small businesses and how families build wealth. She's got a really unique perspective that I don't think the majority of us here on the council share. Now, it may make some folks nervous that, I made a joke recently that when I came on the council, I was the youngest person of color in the city's history. Now we're going to have a few of us up here, assuming she gets the vote. But I think you're going to have folks with different perspectives. I think she's someone who I think has the potential to really be a unifying figure in the city and really work on issues that bring us all together. So I'm prepared to make that vote tonight. But there's so many other candidates: Dennis Johnson, David Schoenthal. I don't want to even go down the list because there's so many of them. But it's been an amazing night, and I'm prepared to vote when we're ready to do this.
So a couple of things I would like to note. We had a couple of candidates who were like, I guess, Mr. Congeniality, Mr. Personality. They were crowd pleasers. Dennis Johnson and Al Green. So I'm going to have a shout out to both of them. You guys clearly got the most recognition from the audience. So. And then of the rest of the candidates, one of the things I wanted to point out is that more than half of them have either are serving or have served in the past on Richmond boards and commissions, some on more than one. And I really want to point that out because we really kind of have a hard time recruiting people to serve on these boards and commissions. And I think that people who would like to be on the city council, whether it's through an appointment process or an election process, I think that's a great first step. I mean, some of these include Sohila Bana, who represents the city very well on our mosquito and vector control district. Diego Garcia, Al Green, Dennis Johnson, Marilyn Langlois, and Dave Schoenthal, and maybe I've missed a couple of others, but I want to thank you all of you for your service on those boards and commissions. And we do have some amazing candidates. This was a fairly compacted schedule to get this done, and I'm very impressed with the people who turned out only about 2 weeks' notice, got their applications in. And for those of you who don't get appointed tonight, I hope that you will consider getting into the fray in 2018 and putting your hat in the ring for city council seat. So with that, I'm going to move on to our next item. The next item is to ask.
We need to suspend the rules.
Oh.
Our time is up.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we suspend the rules to extend the meeting so that we can finish this item.
Second.
Okay, well, motion is second. Are there any objections? Okay, we're on to good man. Good man, yeah. So now we have an opportunity for each of the candidates to come back up and have a final 2 minutes to say whatever you want to say. It's characterizing the agenda as a rebuttal, but I'm not sure you have to do the rebuttal.